You are listening to the Wandering Chronicles podcast. I'm Ashley.
I'm Jamie.
How are you?
Hi, Ashley. I'm okay. It's hot. My air conditioner's broken.
Air conditionings, they just suck. My personal experience is that, like, every other summer my air conditioning breaks, but hopefully that won't happen anymore.
Honestly, I won't be here next summer, so I don't care if it happens next summer. But I guess somebody broke the air conditioner to get copper.
That is bullshit.
Yeah. All I can do is just hope that they needed it that badly. Gratefully, I'm a renter.
Yeah.
But it's been almost a week. They gave me a window unit, which is very nice. It doesn't do really close to anything, but it cuts the humidity out, so I'll give it that. Yeah. It's still 80 degrees in here, but at least it's a tolerable humidity. But when I reached out to him to get an update on when it would be fixed, he's like, there is no update. It's very busy. We've been inundated. And I said, okay, well, I have this window unit you've gave me running 24/7 just to be tolerable to live here. Will I get any kind of reimbursement for your equipment breaking? Because my freezer just broke the week before. Mm-hmm. And I had to throw out all my food. And he's like, well, we responded within 19 hours, and our guarantee is 24. And I'm like, yeah, that doesn't change literally anything. And he said, well, expenses from things breaking are just part of being a human, just part of living somewhere. And I'm like, yeah, but that's why I rent.
Yeah. Because
if I owned a home, you would be right.
Yeah.
But I'm a renter. So that was Wednesday or maybe Thursday, and still haven't heard anything else. So I'm going to have to email him again.
Yeah. Last summer, my air conditioning broke in July, I think. July or August. Like, dead of summer, basically. Mm-hmm. And they came in, they looked at it, and they're like, yeah, this thing's broken. Like, broken. It's not fixable. And a month later, I had air conditioning. Just in time.
A month?
Yep, a month. Just in time for me not to need air conditioning anymore. Because what they had to do for my air conditioning was completely replace the unit. Because the unit that they had for my apartment was meant for a studio apartment, not a one-bedroom. Which also explains why my air conditioning was never very good. Like, my bedroom never got cold. It was always, like, sleeping in a heated room in the dead of summer. It was terrible. Mm-hmm. So they replaced the entire unit, and the guy came in, and he was explaining to me what happened. He's like, yeah, your unit was original to the building, and it was never meant for a one-bedroom. And it's, like, 20 years old, and these units really only last about 10 years. And it's fixed. Like, you should be fine. Like, I got to see the old unit that was broken, so...
I think that they need to replace my unit, too, to be honest with you, because it was original to the building, too, and he mentioned that finding parts...
is hard.
Yeah, plus, the original parts are going to just be stolen again. Like, it doesn't make a lot of sense to replace the thing that people steal so they can come back and steal it again. They're just going to keep doing that. Yeah. So, I think they are probably going to put a new unit in, which would be nice. But I think that probably means I'm going to wait longer. Probably. Unfortunately.
My air conditioning had broken, I think it was the year before as well, but they just, like, repaired it and moved on. And it like I said, it was never great to begin with. I've had bad luck with air conditioning, though.
I'm just annoyed that I know that my electric bill is going to be astronomical.
It's going to be higher than usual, yeah.
And it's not even doing the job. Like, I'm still, like... So I guess I wanted to mention it for our listeners. There's going to probably be background noises from fans that normally I'm able to turn off, but it is just intolerably hot in here. Hopefully our audio editing that we do is able to take them out, but if you do hear them, I apologize. This is a hopefully very temporary problem.
I hope it's fixed by next episode, honestly.
Yeah.
I don't want you to be going through this.
It's making me salty. Everything's making me salty. Everything sucks, and the world is pointless.
In one of my first apartments in college, the air conditioning broke as well. It was 90-something degrees in my apartment, and I was sleeping on ice packs. I was putting ice packs in my bed to sleep. Because
I broke my favorite ice pack.
Oh, no.
I can probably go buy another one. I just haven't. But it was one of those eye packs...
Oh, yeah. Those are
nice. That has the nice jellies. I like those ones because you can put them in your shirt. Mm-hmm. And they're flexible. And they keep you cool. But I popped it in the little... All of a sudden, I was, like, feeling these little Orbeez. Not a fan of that feeling. Especially after I got bit by a spider sometime recently. So...
Oh, God.
Did I tell you that?
You showed me the picture and I said it looked painful.
Yeah, it's still there.
Oh no.
It's getting better. It doesn't hurt at all anymore.
And you haven't developed any superpowers?
If I have, they are not useful because I haven't needed them.
Okay.
I haven't done anything that would have shown me that I can do this magical new superpower.
Well, hopefully they'll appear soon.
I would love if I got the superpower of, like, Iceman.
That'd be great right now.
I know. How convenient.
Yeah.
I guess the fact that I'm in... Well, you're freezing because your shower didn't work properly, so we're kind of in temperature...
Opposite issues. Yeah, I have air conditioning because, again, it was fixed properly last year, so hopefully it doesn't break this year. I also have to open my drink. Should I do that right now?
Yeah.
I'm drinking a blood orange CBD drink.
Ew.
I've had this brand before. It's really good. This is an interesting one.
I don't like the CBD drinks, I've decided. I've gotten a couple of them, and they taste weird to me. I don't know what it is about them.
This one tastes exactly like a blood orange.
Yeah, see, I need more sugar than that.
Yeah. I like it. I have no problems with it. I'm starting to warm up from my ice shower, because apparently my hot water is just 30 seconds of hot water. I have complained so much in the past about my shower being a demon and pulling water straight from hell. This is karma. Yeah, this is just karma. I got up and I'm like, I'm going to take a shower. I need to feel refreshed today. I spent the day in the studio yesterday and I'm feeling really grimy from sitting in, again, a hot room for 7 hours.
Can relate.
Yeah, no air circulation whatsoever. We don't have a window in our studio, so it's not like we can open a window. It was not comfortable. I was very sweaty. So I'm like, I'm going to take a shower. I'm going to feel refreshed. I'm going to get stuff done today. And I go into the shower, and at first it feels like there's hot water. So I get in. I was very wrong. I was deceived by my shower. It lied to me. There was no hot water. I pretty much screamed my way through that entire shower. My neighbors probably think I was being murdered. So they're like, I don't like this.
Okay, Travis Alexander.
It was very dramatic, okay?
That was a very mean reference. Sorry, Travis. I know you're dead, but maybe your soul can hear that.
Rude.
Did you get that joke?
No.
Travis Alexander is Jodi Arias's victim.
I always forget his name.
I know. I feel bad for him because everybody remembers her and almost no one remembers his name.
To be fair, I always think that, like, Travis is kind of a forgettable name.
I don't agree with that, but...
I don't know why. Maybe I've just, like, never really met a Travis that I remember.
There's a really good band named Travis that I love, so, I mean, you know, right off the bat, I've had good associations with Travis. But, yeah, I make an effort to remember his name because I feel bad for him, because everybody remembers her. I'm
going to try and do a better job to remember his name. But, yes, the reference was kind of fucked up, but really, really well done. Really well done.
It wasn't that well done since you didn't remember.
No, but now that I know, I'm like, oh, that was fucking good.
Maybe our listeners will get it.
Hopefully somebody gets it. Because I didn't.
That's funny.
Right over my head.
Figured as much, because you're just like, yeah. Yeah. Speaking of hot weather.
Where are we going?
We're going to Honolulu. How are you going to get there?
I'm just going to paddle boat there. Okay. Even on land, I'm still going to paddle boat.
Oh my god, that's a great visual. People are just like, what the fuck is this chick's deal? And you're just like, clunk, clunk.
Yeah, I'm just gonna paddle boat my way there until I get to the water, and then I will paddle boat there.
So weird.
How are you getting there?
I'm gonna construct a flotation device, like a raft.
Okay.
Out of garbage.
That is very resourceful of you.
Yeah, I'm thinking Swiss Family Robinson style.
I like it. Cool. Make yourself a little flotation device out of trash.
Yeah, there's plenty of it.
There is. We have an abundance of trash.
Yep, actually, that's what we're going to be talking about today.
Oh, an abundance of trash?
An abundance of trash. That's a great name. Maybe that's what I'll name the episode. We'll see.
Nailed it.
So let's jump into it and learn about trash.
Let's.
Honolulu is the capital as well as the largest city in Hawaii. It is an unincorporated county seat because Hawaii has no incorporated areas below the county designation, which I did not know.
Huh, interesting.
But it makes sense. There's a lot of more rural communities and villages in the States on different islands and stuff, so that does make sense to me. Honolulu means calm port in Hawaiian, and before the pandemic began, between 10,000 and 15,000 tourists arrived in Honolulu per day.
Wow.
Drawn in by the tropical climate, the natural scenery, and extensive beaches.
Wow.
Citizens of the Honolulu area have noticed a change in the environment over the course of the pandemic. Though COVID had a huge negative impact on the local economy, which benefits greatly from the money that tourism brings in, the environment of Hawaii benefited from fewer people on the island. Residents noticed that the waters were cleaner, the fish more prevalent, and most notably, there was less litter on the beaches. Since the lockdown was lifted and people have begun traveling to Hawaii again, trash at popular tourist destinations has begun, yet again, to be a problem.
Ugh.
Yeah. People suck.
People are so enamored by these areas, and like going to Hawaii is such a big deal. Take care of it while you're there.
Yeah.
Don't leave your trash just floating around.
I watch people walk by my apartment that just throw their trash on the ground all day. And
I see it all the time too, and I hate it.
It makes no sense to me.
Yeah.
There's a trash can in front of the Walgreens that is literally next door to my apartment. I would carry garbage in my backpack for literal days when I would go to music festivals. Everywhere I went, just waiting to see a trash can, and my brain doesn't work that way.
I mean, how hard is it just to hold on to the piece of trash you're holding until you find a receptacle to throw it in?
It's so much easier than a bunch of people having to get together and clean up. Yeah, I don't know. It doesn't make a lot of sense to me.
I agree. I have thrown wrappers that I have in my hand in my purse because I can't find a trash can. I've never thrown something on the ground just because I didn't know where else to put it.
I have been since I was a child. I remember getting very specifically reprimanded about it as a child and never again did it. But I did get in trouble as a kid.
It's littering. You're polluting the environment.
Yeah, my mom was just like, I don't want to have to step over your bullshit. Clean it up. No one else wants to have to step over your shit.
Ain't that the truth?
But I mean, that's not even about the environment. Because I think sometimes environmental things can feel like an abstract problem to people because it's not always right in front of your face. The consequences don't always affect the people that are doing the thing.
Yeah.
So people don't always think about that. But isn't it nice to not have to step over someone's trash? That's something everyone can identify with.
I see trash on the ground all the time. There was one time I was walking home from work, and I was walking down... It doesn't matter what street I was walking down. I was walking home from work, and I come across this lady walking her dog, and she's got this huge, like, one of those large black trash bags, like, meant for, like, heavy-duty trash pickup. And she's just standing there with her dog, just, like, picking up trash and putting it in that bag. The area that I was walking by is, like, a high area of trash. I once saw a weave there that stayed there for 3 months. I named it Rita. And it changed positions all the time. Rita was just all over the place. Well, my friend Lizzie named it Rita. I kept sending her photos of it every day.
That's
hilarious. I walk home from work a lot, and usually I walk past this intersection, and there's always trash there. There's always just like mounds of trash there. People just dropping stuff, and like people getting drunk on the weekends and losing shit. Like you'll see heels there, and weaves or chunks of weaves. And Rita stayed there for about 3 months, maybe 2.5 months.
Just looking like a dead animal.
She changed positions. At one point, she was on the ground, and then somehow she ended up hanging from the fence, and she looked like her little tendrils were holding on.
I've thought about buying one of those garbage picker things, because that would get me out walking more. But I think then I would get more angry when I see people litter, because I just got done cleaning it, and god damn it, I just finished that.
Well, you could always take a pair of gloves and take a walk and...
No, I would have to buy one of the garbage. There's 0% chance I would touch it with my hands, even with gloves on.
Okay, fair enough.
I'd have to buy one of those, like, long, down-to-the-ground garbage picker things.
Yeah. The lady that I saw picking up trash, she was wearing gloves and just, like, shoveling it in there. But it's a lot of... Like, that area always is, like, littered. Badly littered.
Yeah. I know it's irrational. I'm just grossed out too easily by stuff. Plus, there's a lot of masks and stuff. And
yeah. I don't want things that touch people's faces.
No, I don't want any of it, really. There's a fucking dirty diaper in the parking lot where I park my car that's been there for, like, 6 months. Sounds
like the smells in the CTA.
It doesn't smell anymore. it's rained enough times that I'm sure that part has
dissolved.
Dissipated. Yeah, but it's just gross. People are gross. Humans are disgusting creatures.
They are. Absolutely.
Parley for the Oceans, a group dedicated to bringing people with diverse talents together to collaborate with one another with the common goal of, quote, raising awareness for the beauty and fragility of our oceans, unquote. In Hawaii, the group focuses on high-impact beach cleanups, education, and community collaboration. This group reports noticing an uptick of PPE litter, like masks and gloves, and cigarette butts, but most especially the litter being seen since COVID restrictions have been lifted has been single-use plastic products.
Yeah. Stop using those plastic utensils. I work with a girl who gets seriously ticked off anytime somebody uses the plastic silverware they have at work.
Yeah.
Ranting, upset. She's like, why do people use this? I'm like, because it's sitting out and people don't think to go into the drawer and use the metal utensil. I use the metal utensils because we have a dishwasher at work, so why not?
Yeah. I always kept a fork and a spoon and a knife in my desk drawer. They didn't have actual dishes. Yeah. They only had the plastic things, but I'm like, I can wash my fork when I'm done with it and put it back in my drawer.
Yeah.
You know, I had like a reusable straw that I just kept in my drawer and I would wash them at the end of the day if I used them.
Yeah, my office has, like, a real kitchen. It just doesn't have a stove or oven. It just has, like, a legit kitchen. And there are silverware in the drawer that you can use. And yet we have little coffee cups filled with plastic silverware because people are lazy and they don't want to use the real stuff. Or they forget that the real stuff is there. So.
No. That would piss me off a lot, too.
I try never to use the plastic stuff if I can.
Yeah. Tourists are not the only culprit leading to trash and plastic pollution on Hawaii's beaches and in the ocean, though. Microplastics are also a huge threat to the health of Hawaii's delicate marine ecosystem. According to the United States National Oceanic and Atmospheric Administration, or NOAA, microplastics are tiny fragments of any type of plastic that is less than 1/4 inch in length, or about 5 millimeters. These include microfibers from clothing, microbeads from skincare and other consumer products, and plastic pellets, as well as small pieces of plastic that result from the breakdown of larger plastics.
Heard that the microbead face cleansers are really bad for the environment, so I've tried not to buy those anymore.
There are some, if you have to kind of know what you're looking for ingredient-wise, because there are some that are organic and will break down. They're just like, but then there are other things that aren't microbeads, but are still like almost a liquid form of plastic that will pill up when you wash your face. So if you use it, you'll notice it kind of pilling.
I've been very specific on face care stuff to buy just to make sure that I don't get anything that will add to.
The Ordinary is a really good company, both product-wise, price-wise, and also they tend to not have a lot of like microplastics in them.
Good to know. Make a note of that. The Ordinary. Okay.
I use a lot of their products, not all, because a lot of the other stuff I use I get in my Ipsy bag, like, you know, which I'm really thinking after doing research for this that I need to stop it because the packaging in that is pretty bad, too.
Yeah.
I use this red BHA peeling mask. You put it on for like 3 minutes and it takes off the top layer of dead skin. It was like $6, $7. And it's just like a couple drops. It's going to last me forever to go through it. So definitely like that company. There's a lot of good ones now, though. Because plastics can take hundreds of years to break down, and because manufacturers are cranking out record numbers of plastics year after year, microplastics have a high probability of ingestion, incorporation into, and accumulation in the bodies and tissues of many organisms. In fact, in an article that I first read in 2020, published by the National Library of Medicine, a study of 6 human placentas that were collected from consenting birthing parents revealed 12 microplastic fragments found in 4 of the 6 placentas. 5 of the microplastics were even found on the fetal side of the membrane, meaning that these unborn fetuses had been infected by plastic pollution even before they had a chance to be born.
That is so disturbing.
Isn't it?
Oh my god.
Yeah, it's bad. I don't think there's any going back from that kind of pollution at this point. We can reduce it, like, from getting worse, but guaranteed probably most of us have plastic in our bodies. Even more concerning, a study published in Environment International in 2022 revealed that microplastics have also been found in 80% of 22 anonymous blood samples. Microplastics enter humans' food supply through the seafood that we eat, as well as through sea salt. Once in our digestive systems, microplastics can affect our endocrine systems, disrupting hormone regulation with the chemicals that our bodies leach from them.
Fucking terrible.
It's creepy.
Yeah.
I know, I was talking to Jeff about it last night. He's like, I can't really think about it. It kind of creeps me out a little too much.
Well, it's kind of important for us to think about it.
It is, but it's creepy. It's creepy to think about something that's not supposed to be inside of your body being inside of your body. That's a creepy feeling.
It does kind of make you feel a little dirty.
Single-use plastic waste is a concern that affects most places on Earth, but Hawaii has unique elements that lead it to have an elevated concern with plastic pollution. The chain of islands sits at the center of swirling ocean currents, just east of what is known as the Great Pacific Garbage Patch.
Oof, that does not sound like a good thing to have.
No. I just wanted to throw this in here because I thought this was an interesting statistic. I don't know if this is actually accurate, and I couldn't really back it up. It was just some guy in a video saying this.
Okay.
So take it for what that is, but
take it with a grain of sea salt?
No, sea salt can be dangerous. I'm glad I use Himalayan salt.
That was my...
A piece of plastic trash leaving California would travel to Japan in about 3 to 5 years and come back circulating in the ocean as it breaks down over time. And it could be there potentially forever. Just going back and forth.
Garbage yo-yo.
So that's kind of what the Great Pacific Garbage Patch is. It's not one giant patch, although those do also exist. But it's more of a stream of plastic trash that goes all around the Pacific Ocean. And once these smaller pieces of plastic, especially microplastics, are in that stream from the currents, it just keeps going forever.
Oh my god.
It's called a gyre.
Damn. Oh, it really does sit, like, in the middle of the garbage path.
Yeah.
Damn. Okay. Humans suck.
They do. Yep. We're the worst.
Yeah, we are.
The Great Pacific Garbage Patch, which is also known as the Pacific Trash Vortex, is a collection of floating trash, plastics, and microplastics that come together from all around the world, including countries in North America, South America, and Asia. The Ocean Conservatory, a nonprofit environmental advocacy group based in Washington, D.C., that helps formulate ocean policy at the federal and state level, reported following a 2015 study that the 6 primary sources of this pollution are China, Indonesia, the Philippines, Vietnam, Sri Lanka, and Thailand.
Wow.
In fact, it is believed that China alone is responsible for 30% of worldwide plastic pollution in the ocean, specifically from Chinese cargo ships. So yet another reason to focus on shopping small and shopping local.
Yeah.
The Great Pacific Garbage Patch comprises an area roughly twice the size of Texas. Now, I also saw an article that said 3 times the size of Texas. So I don't know if that's a discrepancy in time, like it's grown over time. Yeah. I wasn't able to make that very clear, so I'm just mentioning both.
Okay.
Researchers became aware of the garbage patch in 1990 when a container ship from South Korea encountered a storm and tipped in the ocean, spilling 80,000 individual sneakers into the ocean. This event was called the Great Nike Shoe Spill of 1990.
Oh, so tragic.
And sneakers washed ashore from Oregon to British Columbia, Canada. Like, there were sneakers showing up all over.
That explains the Nike with the barnacles on it.
Yes. And I feel like I've heard of this in a completely different context before. Mm-hmm. That you maybe have heard of too, just having been a true crime person.
Yeah.
Because there was a concern for a while with all these shoes washing up on Oregon. I've definitely heard them trying to investigate whether they were belonging to dead people. Because shoes were constantly washing up on the shores of Oregon.
Yeah, that is insane. This is from a cold case or a murder case. Like, that's a valid concern. You see shoes wash up and you're like, something bad happened. Yeah.
Especially, they're going to be looking very weathered by that point, because this was 1990. And I feel like this was still happening within the last 10 years is when I was reading about this. I'll have to go look and see if I can find that article, because I didn't know anything about this at the time, so I wasn't reading it with thinking that of this. Context, I was thinking of cold cases.
I mean, so it makes sense that they'd be investigating it, because you see a pair of weathered shoes wash up and you're like, is that part of a cold case that I'm investigating?
Right.
Or is that part of the great Nike spillage of 1990?
I know, it's weird. I did read another thing, and I'm just going to mention this. I'm not going to get too in the weeds about it, because it was a little bit over my head, if I'm being honest.
Yeah.
But they did, because this was one of the first times that they kind of noticed this garbage patch in the gyre, they tagged some of the shoes so that they could watch their travel, so they could see where they went. And it was actually very useful for research into the plastic in the ocean problem. So
That's
at least
brilliant.
something positive came out of it.
Yeah.
I wonder how many, though, are still kind of out there.
There were a lot of shoes. I'm sure that most of them haven't been found.
It makes you wonder. It really does.
Yeah. Oh, it really does make you wonder what happened to all 80,000 pairs or 80,000 individual shoes.
Yeah, it's wild.
That is bonkers.
It's crazy, but it makes sense to me because you see those cargo ships, and it doesn't really look like there's much holding those. I mean, the containers are heavy, so I'm sure it would take a lot to make the ship do this, but the fucking ocean is powerful as fuck.
Yeah.
Yeah, I thought that was interesting, and I don't remember, I was a child, so who knows, but I don't think I ever heard about that before.
No, I don't remember that. I mean, 1990, I barely remember yesterday, let alone 1990.
Yeah, I don't have any specific memories that come to immediate mind about 1990. I was a child. I was 8. I was 9. You were even younger. Don't even say it.
I won't. I do remember yesterday, though, for the record, because Dan passed out in a pile of random stuff in the studio.
Because of heat stroke?
No, because he didn't get his nap. This man needs a nap.
Yeah. Marine pollution caused by plastic substances is recognized as one of the most serious issues from the perspective of pollution. Up to 90% of single-use plastics are never recycled, and up to 14 million metric tons of plastic waste makes its way into the ocean every year.
That's upsetting.
Microplastics have been found in the ocean's deep trenches, within deep-sea sediment, caught on ocean ridges, and washed on the shore of remote islands all over the world. Though this is a monumental problem, there are many groups working throughout the world to both clean up and raise awareness of it. One such group is called Ocean Voyages Institute, a nonprofit organization that was founded in 1979 by a group of international sailors, educators, and conservationalists with a mission of teaching maritime arts and sciences and preserving the world's oceans.
I love that.
In 2020, Ocean's Voyages Institute marine plastic recovery vessel completed a 48-day expedition during which they successfully removed 103 tons of fishing nets and consumer plastics from the Great Pacific Garbage Patch, setting a new record and more than doubling its own results from the prior year.
Wow.
At the end of the expedition, the vessel docked in Honolulu and prepared the collected trash for upcycling and proper disposal by Matson, which is the local waste management company.
Right on.
Mary Crowley, who is the founder and executive director of Ocean's Voyages Institute, says, quote, "There is no doubt in my mind that our work is making the oceans healthier for the planet and safer for marine wildlife," unquote.
Good. Go them.
Yeah, I think so too.
Yeah.
On a more local level, the citizens of Honolulu have several organizations that they can work with to help keep their beaches clean. One of them is called 808 Cleanups, headquartered in Honolulu. 808 Cleanups is a volunteer-led organization that is, quote, "committed to restoring Hawaii's natural beauty by empowering volunteers to conduct decentralized cleanups, responding to littering and vandalism of Hawaii's natural spaces, saving Hawaii's indigenous ecosystems through education, and building sustainable solutions with community partners," unquote.
I like it.
They
awesome.
also work with removing invasive species of plants.
Oh, good.
Which I think is important to point out.
That's also incredibly dangerous.
For sure. And probably happens there a lot, just because of how much traffic there is
bring
from
some
people.
Weird shit with them on vacation, sometimes without even realizing it.
Yeah. Together, the group has led more than 1,700 group cleanup events and has removed more than 762,000 pounds of rubbish of all kinds from beaches and natural lands.
Yay.
Looking at their event calendar is impressive, as they have cleanup events almost every day of the week.
Wow. So they never stop working.
I mean, they have a day off here and there,
Obviously, not everybody's doing it every single day, so...
Yeah, no, it's
volunteers.
Decentralized.
Yeah.
So basically, you contact them, you say, hey, I want to lead a group cleaning up this area. I noticed it needs it. You can adopt an area so that it's your area to keep clean.
Oh, I like that.
And then they give you t-shirts and, cleanup.
Gear.
Yeah, thank you. Gear is a good word. I couldn't think of anything. I blanked completely.
I got you, girl.
And then they encourage you to take a lot of pictures throughout the process of the actual cleanup, but also what you take away from, like, all the trash that you collect and what it looks like afterwards.
Well, yeah,
to
use on their social media. Before and after.
Right. Well, and it also just gets more people interested because they're able to see the actual physical impact, and it helps spread the word. They have a very vibrant Instagram that we are absolutely going to share on our Instagram. We'll tag them.
Absolutely.
But it's very cool. And I included a photo of one of the groups that we're cleaning up. It's people of all ages, all ability level. There's families that get together and go out and do this. So I think that's awesome. And I don't know if you've ever participated in anything like this, but I'm a member of Missouri's group called Clean Streams.
Yeah.
And those cleanup efforts are so much fun. I've made more friends at Clean Streams events since I moved here than any other way, really, because they're people that care about the same things as you, that are willing to get out there. You get to spend the day kayaking and just picking up trash as you come along it.
How fun. Yeah.
It's such a good time. And Missouri has really great kayaking. I mean, I'm not good at it. I fall in every time the stream curves. But it is a nice way to spend a day.
Yeah.
So if you can get involved in things like that, it's really awesome.
Absolutely.
You can also help combat this problem in your own homes by reducing your use of single-use plastics, such as straws and plastic bags, purchasing clothing made of organic materials rather than synthetic materials, and by donating to organizations that contribute to research into sustainable materials or ocean cleanup.
Awesome.
That is our environmental story about Honolulu.
Have you ever been to Hawaii?
No. I've never seen an ocean.
Wow. Okay. Well,
I know. I've always been in the middle. I was joking about this. I was talking to a friend last night about this, and I've been to Canada and Mexico, and I've still never seen an ocean because I've been in the middle of every country.
Wow. So
I know. I don't know how that's happened. It's just the way things have worked out.
I was lucky enough to travel as a kid, and my parents took a vacation to Hawaii one year. And that happened to be the summer I had a horrible ear infection. So I spent time in Hawaii with an ear infection, unable to go in the water. And I love swimming. Swimming is one of my favorite things to do.
I'm afraid of the ocean.
Oh, it's so beautiful, though. It's so beautiful. And
I would love to watch it. I just don't know if I'd want to get in.
Oh, it's worth going in. It's fun.
Is it?
Yeah, because the scary things aren't really going to come to the shore. I wouldn't go in the ocean if I were on a boat in the middle of it. No way. That's how people die. But, like, I have no problem going into the ocean off a beach. Like, that's not a problem.
I watched a video within the last week or so. It was in Australia. They were researching what they said was the most poisonous jellyfish in the world. And they were inch big, can make it up to the edge of where people swim.
Yeah. I mean, jellyfish do, and that's one thing, but
you can't see them very well. Freaks me out.
No, that is scary. But I've never been afraid of going into the ocean. I probably still would go into the ocean.
I probably wouldn't have been afraid if I'd gone as a kid, but now I'm an adult and I've had years to be afraid. So, I mean, I traveled a lot as a kid, too. We just stayed in the Midwest. Yeah. We were poor. We went on road trips.
My family went to a lot of different places. Yeah. And I remember the Hawaii trip because I had a horrible ear infection for, like, the first half of it. And I was like, it was really hard to keep me out of the water. I don't know how my parents did it. I think they probably had to tie me down, honestly. But like,
being on a plane with an ear infection sounds fucking miserable.
Oh, it was terrible. It was terrible. And I remember, like, again, I was a small child. So my memory of this is, other than being, like, traumatized by the ear infection and not being able to do the one thing I really wanted to do, which was swimming. I just wanted to be in the water. But, like, my dad got me a prescription to help me with my ear infection. And, like, I remember the pills being, like, bigger than my throat. Obviously, like, I was a kid and I'm exaggerating it, but I remember them being huge, and I was so upset at the idea of having to take them that anytime I would have to take them, I would scream and run away. and, like, lock myself in the bathroom until they would stop trying. And then, like, once I thought they would stop trying, I would go back out there and then they'd be like, nope, you gotta do this. I was such a dramatic child. So basically cat
logic.
Yes, I was a dramatic child.
Yeah, cat logic. That's how Chibi is when she doesn't want to take a medicine. She's like, if you seem like you forgot about it, I think you forgot about it.
Yeah. Izzy's the same way. No,
humans are just good actors, Cat.
Yeah, Izzy's the same way, except that I've decided to let her decide the terms of when she takes her medicine.
Yeah.
And how she takes it. She gets to taste test the product beforehand, the product being the vessel in which she gets the medicine. And if she approves, then she goes to her spot where she feels comfortable, and I give her the food there.
Yeah, you've got a good system.
It took us months to figure it out, but it's a good system, and she cleans her bowl every time, and I'm very proud of her. She's a good girl.
It makes sense that it would take that long. That's a big deal. They don't get it. They don't understand.
No.
It just seems like you're torturing them. And, you're not torturing the other one, so it seems unfair.
Yeah, and Johnny gets a little mad that he doesn't get a treat, even though he has zero interest in the treats. Like, I've let him sniff the sour cream or the cream cheese off my finger, and he's just like, no.
Yeah.
But he wants to be involved, so he still has to, like, be curious, and then his curiosity scares off Izzy, and I'm like, damn it, Johnny. So my whole thing is, when she takes her medicine, my only job is to distract John.
Yeah.
So I just have to lure him away with affection, which is basically his language. Johnny's love language is affection and attention.
Did you know that the love languages are terrible?
They are.
Purity culture propaganda, and the guy who wrote that book has absolutely no education in psychotherapy or psychology of any kind. He's just a pastor who wants to control women.
I should have said that Johnny's...
You should have.
I'm trying to think of the word. No, it's not his love language, because it really doesn't make sense in the context I use that. What I should have said is that his motivations are attention and affection. Izzy's motivated by food. Johnny's motivated by, like, affection.
Yeah.
He wants
I'm
love.
I'm going to rant on the food. Love language thing, like, every time I have a chance, because it pisses me off. I feel like it's been used to make a lot of women feel bad about their relationship because they don't want sex as much as their spouse does. And their spouse says, well, you're my wife, and my love language is physical touch, and you should want to have sex with me all the time because that's your job as my wife. And it's been used to manipulate a lot of women into feeling shitty about themselves and their bodies, and that sucks. That makes me mad.
I see where you're coming from, and I agree with you. That is shitty and bad.
Because, like, I think we all know, or at least women all know, that sex isn't the only way you can get physical affection, if that's what you want. But men only care about that a lot of the time.
There's other ways to show affection. And like I said, Johnny's motivated by love. Motivations are purely attention and affection.
Nigel's the same way, only when he's, like, uncomfortable, like something's happening that he's a little afraid by. And it's been teetering on the edge of storming for, like, 3 days.
So he's constantly freaked out?
Yeah, but it's hot as fuck, and I keep waking up, and he's like a little furnace laying on top of me, and I'm like, I am dying. I'm dying, and your fur is stuck to my sweat, and I can't take it.
Poor baby.
I know.
And poor you.
They just need to come fix my air conditioner.
Did I tell you about the girl I was talking to at the art thing last weekend? I think I might have mentioned it, where we were talking about how she was house-sitting these 2 cats, and they were really crazy, and I looked at her and I go, were they orange cats? And she just got, like, wide-eyed and was like, yes! And I'm like, yeah, orange cats have, like, an extra layer of insanity. There's, like, something different about orange cats. They're just, like, wired differently.
Yeah, they're built different.
Yeah, they're weird.
They are. Gordy's orange cat, he's not so much like that. He has it, but it's always been a little bit diluted with him. I think because he's got that white patch. He's not fully orange.
He's not full orange. He's partial.
Yeah. All right. Do you want to see where we're going next week?
Let's spin that wheel.
All right. It's too bad. I've had fun in Hawaii.
I did too. I hope we go somewhere nice next.
All right. Well, it looks like we are heading east to Maryland.
Ooh.
Salisbury.
Like the steak?
The steak. I think like the Peter Gabriel song.
There you go. We are gonna have ourselves a Picker's Choice.
Ooh.
Yeah.
Okay.
That'll be exciting.
Yeah.
Haha. Let's see what mischief I can get up to.
All right. Well, I guess I'll see you next week.
See you there.
All right. Well, safe traveling and happy wandering.
Bye.
Bye. Thank you for listening to the Wandering Chronicles podcast with your hosts, Ashley and Jamie. You can follow us on social media at Wandering Chronicles Pod on TikTok, Wandering Chronicles Podcast on Instagram, Facebook, and YouTube, and WND Chronicle Pod on Twitter. Or you can email us at wanderingchroniclespodcast@gmail.com. New episodes drop once a week. If you're liking what you're listening to, please consider leaving us a 5-star review on Apple. If you don't like what you're listening to, that's fine. Please tell everyone you know about our podcast. Your bank teller, that person at work that you're pretty sure steals your lunch out of the fridge every day, but you can't prove it, so you don't say anything. The hot dad that walks his dog by your house every day. Your cashier at the grocery store. Your children's friends' parents. I bet they listen to podcasts. Okay, thanks. Bye! I'm bleeding.
What the hell?
And that's dried. So that must have happened since I was in the shower.
Oh my goodness.
Speaking of Travis Alexander.